I now speak about this jewel that I always refer to in my episodes. I speak of a particular jewel, and this jewel is something special, what we call St. Thomas Church, HAL. I would say this is a jewel because of a special reason, not only because of the church as such, but because of the circumstances in which this church was built or came to be built. We have heard of aeroplanes. We have so many flights today, and perhaps we have the airport, considered one of the third biggest airport in India, with so many people, and in the world also appreciated. It has got not only one but two runways, and so many other good things are there. I'm speaking of the airport and the airplanes because when the aeronautical industry was born in Bangalore in India, St. Thomas Church perhaps has got a history that is intertwined with this aeronautic development. So what we are told is about 100 years ago, perhaps 80, 90 years ago, when the first aeronautical industry started being born in Bangalore, that's the time when the industry was developing, workers were needed, and especially what we call the unskilled workers, the ones who can perhaps clean, dig, prepare, build, etc. And so a big contingent of workers came from Tamil Nadu, from the small villages like Muguyar, Varkil, Rayur, and so many of them. Daily wages as they came here and settled in the place close to what we call the airport or the aeronautical industry called Anandapura. So they built here, perhaps they had small huts that time, and the people from Tamil Nadu, as we know, they are very fond of St. Anthony. Perhaps they carried a statue of St. Anthony itself here. That's about 85 years back I'm speaking. And they placed him in a small tent, a small hut in this place in Anandapura. And that's how the devotion to St. Anthony began there. First it was a 10 by 10 structure. Slowly it was 20 by 20 structure. And at the Jubilee time, we are told there was also a concrete roof put on this small building. And at the Golden Jubilee, there was a big celebration of St. Anthony also. But much before that, 1939, 1st of May, the first Mass is supposed to have been celebrated in this place of St. Anthony's hut, a small chapel that was there. The priest came from Basilica, and some people have noted or perhaps remarked that they came on horseback. So that was the first day, and later on, more and more masses were added, and by the year 10, 15 years or so, there was a solid building, a small one that was in place. Perhaps during that time, it's 1956, Archbishop Puttakumari bought a small piece of land in the present St. Thomas Church, and the church building also was started in a small way, along with the school, primary school, 1 to 4th standard only. And this particular church was something special because they named it St. Thomas. There's a double connection. First of all, St. Thomas Mount, St. Thomas Grave, in Chennai. At the same time, St. Thomas is very popular with the Malayali Christians, the Kerala Christians, and they also perhaps must have joined together, and both the communities were quite happy, and that is how St. Thomas Church took its birth in the year 1956. The first as a small shed, and later on as a small church that was built. So also the school that was there was passed on to Sisters of St. Anne of Madras. Even now they are looking after the school, and especially they have very many poor children who are looked after, especially from the slums, and the people have come up in that area because of this school, we can say, which is doing a lot of good work. St. Anne Sisters always have a heart for the poor. And so St. Anne's, the school, as well as the chapel of St. Anthony, the church of St. Thomas, all these things perhaps together have formed a big community today, what we call St. Thomas Church Community, HAL. And I said I consider it as a jewel because come from the grassroots, as it were, come from those soil or the mud or the dust of the aeronautic foundation that had begun. So today, perhaps, as we look at those planes and bless God and thank for the transport, perhaps St. Thomas Church Christians would also be very happy to say that we also came up from the dust, as it were, like the planes that fly today. We are also, God has given us a great existence, a great faith. And at the same time, we have so many priests who have sacrificed their life for us. I am told the earliest missionaries were Father Brownie, Father Rajendra, Father Joseph, Father Minacheri, Father Jacob. And from 1955 onwards, there were so many priests and missionaries, Father Gratian, Father Frank, Father Stan Norona, Father Anselm, Father Simon de Silva, Father A.P. Siqueira, Father J.M. Miskit, Father Arulanandam, Father Maria Aloysius, Father Pascal. And in 1979, our own Vicar General, our dear Monsignor Jain Adan, was also the parish priest there, and he's supposed to have built the side wing of the church. He also removed the encroachment in St. Anthony's Chapel side, improved the choir, and so many other things. After that, we have priests that are known to you. In 1988 was Father Martin Kumar, was the parish priest there. In 1994, Father Irudayam was the parish priest there, and Father Irudayam is now in the clergy home. And in the year 2000, Father Arokya Das, who is now in KGF. And 2010 was Father Susai Raj, who is presently in the Holy Family Church. And 2016 was Father Raj Ratnam, and presently Father Chinnappan is the parish priest. You know, the community is born along with the priests also, and the sacrifices of the priests perhaps taken for granted, but each of them have worked, and today's St. Thomas Church at HAL is because of the sacrifices of these pioneer priests and the others who have come there. I wish the people of the parishioners of St. Thomas Church, as they celebrate the feast on 3rd of July, a very happy feast. Remember, you are a jewel for us.